A good pair of sweatpants are always a good time, and then you can just steal them and wear them later. I know, we're thinking ahead. We're thinking ahead here. Hey guys, I'm Grace Tori, and you're listening to That Girl, the podcast. Grab a beverage of choice and settle in because the new episode is starting now. Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl, Grace Tori, and I'm back with a whole new podcast episode. In today's podcast episode, I'm super excited because it's kind of like a part 2 to my first part where I talked about things to get your girlfriend / women in their 20s / sister, best friend, whatever, for Christmas. Today we're going to be talking about things to get your boyfriend for Christmas. So obviously this is a little bit harder for me because I myself am not a boyfriend, but I talked to my boyfriend and I kind of said like, well, what would this friend want? What would this friend want? And got a good combination of items. So whatever your boyfriend is into, whatever their hobby is, I definitely think that I have something on this list for them. And then also we will be talking about fun winter dates to go on. So we have a pretty full episode. I'm really excited and I hope that you enjoy it as much as I enjoy talking about it. Before I jump in, of course, I don't really have any life updates this week. Really the only thing going on is we're still cleaning and decorating. I know I've said that for like 4 episodes, but you know, work has been a lot. And so I haven't been like cleaning as much. Like I really only do it on the weekends, so that's why. So yeah, I think that's it. I'm just really excited for the Christmas holiday. I'm excited for the content, and this is part of that. So really excited to talk today. Let's go ahead and jump on in. So the very first thing that Josh said was cologne. The guys really enjoy like a good, nice, expensive cologne. If they have one that they typically go for, definitely buy them that. But if they, you know, don't know, maybe kind of figure out what scent they want. Also, before I jump into this, I do want to say that for the most part, guys generally like presents that are useful. So like, whereas we would like something, if you're a woman or a girlfriend, I'm assuming, we would like something that, it doesn't matter if you put it on the shelf, like if it's sentimental, it's fine, it's cute. Guys are typically more like straightforward. They like things they can use, that they're not just gonna sit up on a shelf. So for the most part, that's kind of like what these things are. There's a few things, but I wanted to stick to that trend. So other than cologne, there's a whole other list of things. So the next thing Josh said, this might be more specific to him, is that he likes Legos, like the big Lego sets. So that's something you could get them. They have obviously car ones, which is more like Josh's vibe. They have Star Wars ones. They have, I haven't looked at them in a long time, but I think they have like Indiana Jones and stuff. They have all different kinds. So whatever they're interested in, there's probably a Lego set. Even though they're a grown adult, they still enjoy it, trust me. So this next section, Josh just had me label drip. So he really likes drip, and he said that guys will really like most of these items. So any guy will be really happy if he gets a hoodie, like a nice hoodie, which is fact. I've never seen a guy get upset if he got a hoodie for a present. Also sweatpants. I don't, like a set is nice, but I don't necessarily think that they have to match. It could just be a pair of sweatpants and a hoodie that are separate from each other. Guys are really into that. They like their hoodies. I don't know if you saw the December 3rd TikToks going around yesterday, but I think that they're pretty happy about that. A good pair of sweatpants are always a good time, and then you can just steal them and wear them later. I know, we're thinking ahead. We're thinking ahead here. The next thing is shoes. So whether that's Jordans, whether that's a nice pair of boots for work, or work shoes, whether that's, you know, a different range of things. You know your guys' styles, so you kind of have an idea of what would work best for them. I put in my small business episode, I think it's called Small Businesses to Buy Gifts From this year, or Best Small Businesses or something like that. I listed a couple places that have really good shoes for men, really good selections. So definitely check that out if you are interested in getting shoes for them. I personally like buying clothes for my boyfriend because then I can get his style a little bit more elevated, because he doesn't typically buy clothes for himself, and we have the same sense of style, so this always is a win-win. So, and the last thing I put on there is also chains. He wears like little chains, but you know, if your boyfriend wears watches, chains, he has his ears pierced, anything like that. Accessories, so whether that's a hat, a beanie, anything like that that just like elevates their style. You know, the drip. They need to have a good drip. So yeah, Josh really emphasized that whole section. So these next options are kind of like, they're either going to be into it or they're not. It just depends on what they're into, but I try to do a wide range of things. So the first thing I put is video games. Most boyfriends play video games, even if they're like, Josh isn't super into video games, but he still plays them. So, you know, the new Spider-Man just came out, the new Call of Duty, I think. I don't know if it's out yet. I think it's out. Yeah, it just came out. So there's all kinds of fun games that just came out that they're probably super interested in. So that is definitely something to go with and get them, and they would really appreciate it. And, you know, it's always good to give him a video game. Josh goes and plays his video games after I go to bed, but he really enjoys them. So, you know. Other than that, there's also video game accessories. So like controllers, wires, lights for to put around their computer. There's all kinds of fun accessories, and if you ask them, I'm sure that they have a running list in their notes about accessories for their video games that they would like. And I feel like this is something fun because they genuinely get really excited about it. Like a game, that's fun, but sometimes they'll buy it themselves. Like they're like, oh, I was planning on getting this. But if you get them an accessory, they genuinely weren't planning on getting it. So that's fun. Also, a lot of guys now that are in the video game world are like building PCs, or they play off of a PC. So a good thing to get them is PC parts, and they'll probably have a running list of this too. There's nothing wrong with asking them, hey, send me 4 or 5 things or 3 things that you want for your video game accessories PC, and I will buy 1 to 2 and surprise you. Josh and I do that. He has like 3 lists. He has his PC, he has his like gun thing, because we live in the South, so gun parts are actually not that uncommon to buy here for Christmas. And then also cars. He has a car. And music. He has a music thing too. So basically what I'm saying is, whatever their hobby is, they're going to want stuff for their hobby, and then they're going to appreciate it. So kind of find out what their hobby is, and if you don't know what to get them, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I know you really enjoy this, and I would love to like support you in this hobby, so give me a list of like 3 things I could choose from or whatever. And then I'm getting him a couple things from that, and then I'm getting him a couple things that I picked out for him that he doesn't know about, but I'm not going to say what they are yet on here because he's in the other room and he doesn't know what they are. So another thing that you can get them is, I think Josh bought this for me last year. He got me a tattoo, so like you can pay for them to go get a tattoo done. So if your guy's into tattoos, he's been wanting a tattoo, don't like force it on them. Obviously, like, it's something that's gonna be on your body forever, so don't be like, hey, you should get a tattoo of my name, I'll pay for it. Like, no. But if it's something they were gonna get already, like maybe they had an appointment set up for next year or something like that, or you can just bring it up and say, hey, I know you've been wanting this, if I paid for it, you know, you can set up an appointment, right? Like, or ask them how much it would cost, things like that. So that's a fun, easy thing. Also, tools, whether they're a car guy, whether they're a workshop guy, whether they're, you know, any of the above, they need a tool in some capacity. So Josh needed tools for his car, and he put some on his list for Christmas. He just bought some for himself. Like, tools are always a safe bet, but again, you kind of have to ask them and know. Guys are really simple in the sense that there's not a lot of guesswork. Like, with us, we kind of want to be surprised. We kind of don't want to know. With them, like, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, send me a list of 3 to 5 things. Like, they don't get offended by that like we do. I feel like we get kind of offended and we're like, oh, you should just know what I want. But like, guys aren't, like, they want to get things that are going to be useful. So they'd rather tell you, and then you get them something useful than something they're never going to use. Another thing, shocker here, I know, but I put car parts on there. So if their car needs something in general, there you go. If they're a car guy, a Jeep guy, a truck guy, I'm sure they have a running list in their notes of car parts. Easy thing to go with. Sometimes they can get expensive, but I would rather honestly buy Josh like one expensive car part than like a bunch of little things he's never going to use. So car parts are always good if they're into that and that's something they like enjoy. Another thing, this is similar to the girlfriend, but again, I think that you shouldn't just go buy a pet for someone. It's something you should say to them, like, hey, I know that you've wanted this, and make sure that they're up for their responsibility. They understand what they're getting into, because we are not for buying animals and then putting them back into the shelter or rescue or whatever a month later. And we want to make sure they go to good homes who are going to take care of them. But getting a pet for them could be something that goes really well. Like Josh had a snake like this past year, and then around the summertime someone actually stole it, so I got him a new baby snake for Christmas, and that was one of his gifts. He already knows about it because we got him a couple weeks ago, like he was an early present. So that's something that can go really well if you know, you read the vibes of the room, and you know without a shadow of doubt that animal is going to be in a good spot. It's going to go to a good home where it's going to be well taken care of, and you're not just kind of throwing this on them. Like Josh had already been looking for snakes on his own, so I knew, okay, he wants this, he's ready for it, he's expecting it. So on that same token, if they already have a pet, you could get them pet accessories for the pet. Like, I'm trying to think, like Luna is Josh's dog and he loves Luna. I did get him a little like glass figurine of Luna to put on his desk because he likes to have things on his desk like that, and he's really proud of Luna and like the dog that he's become. I don't know, he's an Akita German Shepherd, so he's like a big boy and he's just like the best. He really does have a good personality, and like he is a great dog to like kind of show off. So I got him that. But like for the pet itself, you could get him a bandana, a new leather collar that has like his name and then your boyfriend's phone number on it. There's all different things, kinds of pet accessories you could get. Like maybe your boyfriend goes hunting, you could get the dog like an orange something so that he's easier to spot. Like things like that, that are kind of accessories that they're still going to use if you don't want to get them an actual pet, but you want to kind of help do something with animals. So another thing I put is something sentimental but still useful. So maybe they have like, this kind of goes hand in hand with the next topic. The next topic is replace something that is worn out. So maybe they have something really sentimental that's worn out, like their dad gave them this screwdriver and it's been like their lucky screwdriver for 20 years or whatever, like something like that. But it's worn out. Maybe you can do it in a way that you kind of retire the old one, but it still is like in a good place, I don't know, and get him a new one. Like, you got to be careful with this, because if it's something sentimental, you don't just want to replace it and be like, LOL, here's something new. But it can be helpful if like they genuinely can't use it anymore, and kind of say like, we're gonna put this sentimental thing in this special place, and then this is going to be something you can use every day. Like maybe we'll frame the sentimental thing in your workshop or something. Like there's different creative ways to do it, and it just depends on your situation. And then like I mentioned, the next thing is replace something that is worn out. If they have like a favorite hat or favorite jeans or a favorite, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something, a favorite thing that goes in their car, like something that they use every day already that's worn out, that's always a good thing to go with. It requires a little bit of thought, because you have to genuinely think about like, what does he use and is there anything that needs replaced? But that's a sure bet, because he's gonna appreciate it, you know, he's gonna use it. And like that's definitely something I've thought about like for my gifts. Those are all of the gifts. I am really excited. I hope that you buy something from this list. If you think of anything else that's super awesome, go ahead and put it in the comments down below. So if you are on a platform where you can't comment, don't be afraid to hit me up on the TikTok or the Instagram and let me know what you thought. Let me know if you ended up buying any of these things. I want to see what you got your boyfriend. I want to see how excited he was. That just makes me so happy. Like if I was able to help you in some way, that makes my heart so happy. So I do want to know. But now that we have that section of the episode done, we are going to switch gears and talk about fun winter dates. Some of these may be kind of obvious and you may be like, duh, but I did want to remind you of fun ones, as well as bring up some that either Josh and I have done, or we have planned, or I just think would be a good time. So the very first thing I put on there is ice skating. I grew up ice skating. It's one of my favorite things in the world. I still haven't convinced Josh to go with me, but it's gonna happen. If you're in somewhere that's warm, you probably have an ice rink. If you are in somewhere that's cold, maybe they put an ice rink out for the winter. Like I know we have one downtown that's like for the month of December, I think, and there's all fun lights around it and it's a good time. So ice skating is number one. Again, probably should talk to him and make sure he's on board. Like Josh and I are slowly getting there to the point where he will go with me, but it's probably not going to happen this year. You could always go with your friends though if he doesn't want to go. That's one thing. Don't be afraid to hang out with your friends and go on. Like these are all things you can do with your friends if you're not in a relationship, or if your boyfriend tells you no, like mine told me no. Fun times. So next is go see Christmas lights. So when I talk about this, I'm meaning specifically places where like you go pay like $5 or $10 and then they have like a Christmas light show. So we have a ton of those around here and they're so fun. I know the one that's literally like 5 minutes from our house has the light show that you go to in your car, and then you can get out at like a little Christmas town and they have, you can ride a camel, they have a petting zoo, they have like a little shops where they have caramel corn and all this fun stuff. It's at the horse park, so they have like horse themed stuff, so it's really up my alley. You guys know I'm a big horse girl, but like the cool kind. So that's like, you know, Christmas lights, a show is fun. But another thing you could do on a date is just go for a drive in maybe like a neighborhood that you know has a lot of lights, maybe downtown. If they decorate for the Christmas season, you don't have to spend money to go see the Christmas lights. You can go to like on a drive and they're free and they're so fun. I know we have a place called the Christmas House downtown, and like I think you can tour it, but there are actually tours you can go on where you can go tour the inside of people's houses and they sign up for it. My grandpa actually used to do it because he has always gone all out for Christmas, and they get you hot chocolate and it's like you just walk through all these beautiful houses. And I know some people think that's kind of weird, but if it's your thing, I think I would do it because they're very welcoming. They know you're coming. It's at a specific time. It's not weird, and you just get into the Christmas spirit. There's also like light up we did light up Shelbyville, and then there's light up Lexington, light up I don't think they did light up Lexington actually, but there's light up Louisville. Your city probably is doing a light up something, and ours did it at the beginning of November, but if they haven't done it yet, that's a fun date. Another thing is to go skiing or sledding, go out in the snow if you can. I know that people can't always do that. It's warm in some places, but if you can, it's always fun if you are that kind of girl, and he's that kind of guy, you know. Some people aren't. I would rather die than go skiing. I've told you about my most embarrassing skiing story, and let's just say I skied through the fence, and we don't, yeah, no. But some people are into that. I love sledding, so there's something for everyone. Next is just go Christmas shopping for everyone. Like go Christmas shopping and say, okay, we're gonna get presents for this person, this person, this person, or not even have an agenda of like who, and just kind of go and see what you find. Like it's also easier too because like for maybe his mom or like people that you don't necessarily know who to get gifts for, if you go Christmas shopping together, then you can put like, you know, he's kind of gonna say like, oh yeah, or you can say, hey, I'm thinking about, do you like this for your mom? And he can say yes or no, and it's easier than having to go by yourself. You could go Christmas shopping for each other if you're that kind of company or that kind of relationship where like you don't really care to know what you're getting for each other. But also like you could go for other people. Maybe you are in the same friend group and you're getting gifts for your friends. Make it fun, you know? On that same token, I know I mentioned this in my last episode for what to get your girlfriend, but I'm going to mention it here too because I think it's a fun idea. The small business date. I'm going to tweak it a little bit. So maybe go Christmas shopping at small businesses, at thrift stores. I went to a small business yesterday and I actually got most of my gifts and it was 20% off. So I ended up getting gifts for like pretty much almost everyone other than Josh because I'm getting him like big items. Almost everyone for $40. So small businesses are the bomb. I definitely recommend checking them out and, you know, having a good time doing your thing because you may find diamonds in the rough. The items are more unique, and I don't know, something about small businesses. Obviously you're supporting like a person rather than an entity of like a corporation, so It's a lot more beneficial to your local community directly, and it's more fun in my opinion because it's not the same thing over and over again like you would see at the mall. Another thing is dinner at a festive place. Maybe there's a restaurant that gets really decorative. Even if it's just a regular restaurant, I'm sure they put a Christmas tree up, so it's just nice to get out. It doesn't have to be some crazy elaborate winter date. You can just go to dinner, and most of the time they're going to be decorated for the season, and it's just like a beautiful time to get out of the house. They also have, I don't know why the cars sound so loud today. They also have the more decorative things, restaurants that you can definitely go to as well, and it's just like a good way to get out without having to do too much. Like, it's something you do already, but there's Christmas there, and it's a little bit more festive. So the next thing is wrap presents. Maybe you're wrapping presents for your other people. I wouldn't recommend wrapping his presents in front of him, but you could. You know, just have a present wrapping party. This is another one that would be fun to do with friends or your boyfriend, but you know, we can wrap all of our family presents or all of our friends' presents and our pets' presents. That's what we did. I went Christmas shopping for the dogs and the bunnies yesterday, and it was really fun. So we're gonna wrap all those. Just make sure the wrapping is pet safe, or watch them to make sure they don't eat it when they unwrap it. Next is decorate. So decorate your house, decorate his house, decorate the house you share. So many fun ways to decorate. Decorate your car. I don't recommend decorating, so this is one thing I've talked about before, but don't put super feminine things in your car, because then people will know that you are a female. And for places like where I live, where sex trafficking is really, really common, and a big way they do it is through catching you at your car as you're leaving like a grocery store or something. Don't do things that are super feminine. I know it sucks, I know it's unfair, but it's a safety thing. So I recommend that, but also decorating is fine. Putting the little nose on, putting the little reindeers on. You know, there's so many fun ways to get into the spirit through decorating this year, so I definitely recommend doing that. Hot cocoa and movie night. You can also do popcorn. You can also decorate gingerbread houses while you're watching movies. There are so many fun ways to have a movie night during the holiday season, because there's little fun things you can do while you're watching a movie. You know, just put the Grinch on, and it's something I'm sure you've seen 100 times, so it's not gonna be something where you feel like you have to be glued to the screen 100% of the time. So you can do some things while you're doing it. A good pair of sweatpants are always a good time, and then you can just steal them and wear them later. I know, we're thinking ahead here. Like gingerbread house, popcorn, hot cocoa, decorate ornaments. So many different fun ways to do that. Just go on Pinterest, type in Christmas crafts, and you're set. You know, have a good night. Next is a sleigh ride. So if you live in a city, they do them for sure most of the time with like the big Clydesdales. But they also do them at some events, so look into sleigh rides. They're a fun way to get into the spirit. Sometimes they offer you hot cocoa too, so it's fun. Just make sure to bundle up if you're somewhere cold. Okay, so this one is a little bit more expensive, but I did this one year literally just by myself. I didn't even like go with friends or a boyfriend or anything. It was back when I was single. I rented a hotel room just for one night at a festive hotel. You can also get an Airbnb, like a cabin or something like that, but you know, you can do it for one night. You can do a weekend getaway and just go somewhere festive and be surrounded by that atmosphere. If it's a hotel, there's a restaurant there, there's fun things to do about nearby. If it's an Airbnb, I'm sure that they've probably decorated it for the holidays, and if it's in somewhere like Gatlinburg or something like that, there's plenty of fun things to do. So have a little weekend getaway. Just go for the night. I literally went for the night, and I stayed in the hotel room the whole time. I had a city view. I could see, you know, all the city, and it was like $100. So that's a super fun, unique thing that you could surprise your boyfriend with. If, you know, you don't have pets or things that you kind of have to like get babysitting for, you could still do that, but definitely make sure that they have babysitting taken care of before, and make sure that like anything he has, like say it's his dog and not yours and you don't live together, make sure that like he's okay with whatever you decide. So don't just like randomly pawn his dog off to someone for the weekend, you know? That would not be cool. That would not be fun. That would not be fresh. So one thing that definitely gets pretty much everyone into the spirit is celebrating the season of giving by volunteering. So if you're there's volunteering for truly everyone. There's volunteering at animal shelters, there's volunteering at, you know, the hospital, there's volunteering at homeless shelters, there's even volunteering where if you're not a people person, you can just go and sort out items for someone. If you have any sort of trauma in your life that still is near and dear to your heart, whether that's domestic violence, whether that is like some sort of sickness that you got through, something that you feel comfortable working directly with, I'm sure that there's a nonprofit that could use your help that is in that specific area. I know that's what I love to do. I want to give back to the people that helped me when I needed it most, and it felt like no one else helped me. So I do want to say that I'm proud of you, and I'm proud that you got through that. And if you feel comfortable, those are great ways to show that you appreciate those nonprofits for being there, because you understand through a deeper level how important they are, and give back. And it's free. It's a free date, you know? Next is get Christmas pictures done. This is a little bit more if you're like living together, if you're serious. We're getting pictures done with our dogs, and we're all gonna wear a little matching outfit. It's gonna be fun. That is going to be, I think we're doing it next week. I just did the bunnies pictures. They're wearing little naughty and nice hats. You can see that on their TikTok, which is the pet TikTok. It's a certified good pupper, so go check that out if you want to see their naughty and nice hats and how cute they are. But if you are like in a committed serious relationship, I don't think there's anything wrong with getting Christmas pictures done. It's, you know, a good way to have pictures of you. You don't always have to have a Christmas tree in it and it's super festive, and then you can just hang them up year round. Like I mentioned, we're gonna have our dogs in like a matching outfits to us, and it's gonna be very cute and sentimental, and it's something that we can like also gift to our family. Like we can give them pictures of us, which some families really appreciate. They want to put them up. They like, you know, want us to be around. So if you are in a more serious relationship, that's a fun thing. Even if you're not, it's fun to do something like that, just like get pictures taken together, and it's a good time, you know. I 10 out of 10. The last thing on the list that I have is going to like a Christmas town, like, you know, kind of like the place that I mentioned how they had like a petting zoo and stuff. They have Christmas themed events not year round, the month of December, literally going on the whole month. So they have little Christmas towns, they have festivals. There's pretty much something to do almost every day, especially if you're in a big city. So definitely look that up, see if there's something that interests you, and check it out. It's a fun way to get involved in your community. Just get out into the world and see what's going on. Have some fun. They can get pricey, so make sure you kind of know what that looks like and what you're going to be spending, but it's definitely a fun little thing to do that you can't do throughout the rest of the year. Like this event probably happens once a year, so it's unique, it's fun, and it gets you in the holiday spirit. So that is everything that I have on my list for gifts for your boyfriend, as well as fun Christmas, holiday, winter dates to go on. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. Like I mentioned before, show me the items you ended up getting your boyfriend for Christmas. I'm nosy, I want to know. Also show me what dates you went on. If you took pictures, I want to see them. Tag me in them. Comment down below what your favorite part of this video was, or episode if you can. I would love you forever if you took a second to either like this or leave a rating or a review. You can just tap the stars on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or if you feel inclined to leave a written rating, it would absolutely mean the whole world to me. If you leave your Instagram, I'll shout you out on Instagram. I would really appreciate it. It helps me out so much, more than you even know. It just means the absolute world to me. I love this community. I love you guys so much, and I want us to continue to grow and welcome more girlies who all want to become the best version of themselves into our community. So that is a great way that you can help me out and do that. It's free. It takes like 30 seconds, and I would love you forever. Don't be afraid to follow, subscribe, or, you know, add this to your collection. Whatever platform you're on, it's called something different. That would help me out as well, and I would love for you to get notified every time that I post a new episode so that we can be besties and hang out forever. I upload every Wednesday and Sunday. Let me see. If you want to see more content, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and I think that's pretty much it. If you're watching this on Sunday, I hope you have a great night. If you're watching this on any other day of the week, I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, or night. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next episode. Bye, guys.